Hey guys, what's up? This is Casey. This is Coach Tom. We are Shot Science Basketball. This is Shot Science Overtime number 82, and today we have a super special guest with us today from a basketball team that you've probably heard about. Um, he's an awesome guy. We shot some videos with him recently, and we just wanted to bring him on to kind of kick off our collaboration with these guys. And who I'm talking about is our good buddy Slick Willie Shaw from the World Famous Harlem Globetrotters. So what's up, man?
What's going on, gentlemen? How you guys doing? Hello, world.
Yeah, doing well. We're really glad to have you here on the show with us.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm excited to be on the show, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, we shot some stuff with you recently, but we want to hear a little bit about you. So, where did you grow up? Where did you play? Give us a little bio on yourself, man.
Okay. Well, my name is Slick Willie Shaw from the Bronx, New York. Grew up in the Bronx, also Mount Vernon area, Westchester area. I've been playing basketball since I was 6 years old. I fell in love with the sport at an early age. I used to beg my grandmother to go to the park early in the morning on the weekends. I'd be the first kid out there playing full court by myself, practicing my moves and, hitting game winners and imagining the crowd roaring for me. So I used to do that every day, especially in the summertime and on weekends as well. So I fell in love with the game earlier. From there, high school, I won a high school state championship, and I went to college at St. John's University. From there, I hit the most threes in one season. Actually, that record just was broke last year, I want to say. But I've been blessed. Going into my 11th season with the World Famous Harlem Globetrotters. I've been blessed to travel all over the world. 73 countries all over the world, creating positive memories not only for myself but for millions of people all over the world. So I love what I'm doing. I'm living the dream.
Awesome. So somebody got your record. That sucks.
Yeah, I know, right? They said records are made to be broken, so it held strong for 10 years, So I'm
Yeah.
happy with that.
So what was that record, Willie?
I hit the most threes in one season
How
at
many?
St. John's University. I want to say it was 91 threes in one season.
Uh-huh. And how many did you hit?
I hit 91.
Oh,
91.
91. Oh, cool. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so I would probably kind of think that you're probably one of your strengths is probably shooting then, right?
Yes, yes. I was known for my shooting and my dribbling.
Yes, and from the collaboration stuff that we did with you last month, you definitely are an incredible ball handler too. So people are going to be really shocked by some of the video that we shot with you. So why don't you give us a shout out on some of your social media links? Like where can people find the Globetrotters? Where can they find you? Just give us some quick links for us.
Definitely. You can find the Harlem Globetrotters at www.harlemglobetrotter.com. Also, we have a Harlem Globetrotter fan page as well. I have a Slick 40. That's my fan page. Also, Instagram, chillwill_82. And you can see some of my, traveling the world as a Harlem Globetrotter, some of the pictures I post up, some of the footage of, the things I work on as well.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about you a little bit more. Growing up, who were some of the players that you kind of looked up to, or saw them play and really wanted to kind of be a lot like them?
Well, my favorite player of all time is definitely the greatest of all time in my eyes, which is MJ. So, I used to stick my tongue out like MJ when I drive baseline, practice his moves. So before each and every game when I was in high school, I used to watch Come Fly With Me or one of his DVDs at the time, not DVDs, tapes, cassette players at the time. There wasn't no DVDs back then. So I used to watch that before each and every home game, and he used to get me pumped. I used to wear the number 23 like MJ as well.
Awesome. So it was mostly MJ.
Yeah, definitely MJ. I liked Isaiah. I was a big Isaiah Thomas fan too. The way he used to handle the ball and his heart.
Isaiah, yeah. How about NBA team, like your favorite NBA team?
Of course, I'm a New York guy. New York Knicks.
They look like they're rebuilding this year, huh?
We're trying to make it happen. Hopefully, Phil could bring some of that great philosophy he has. Some of that magic he worked with the Bulls and the Lakers. Come on, bring that to New York.
That's right. So, do you remember the first time you ever heard about the Harlem Globetrotters or saw them play or anything like that?
Of course, growing up, I heard about the Harlem Globetrotters. Actually, funny story is I never seen them play until my first game as a Harlem Globetrotter.
Oh wow.
So 11 years ago, in February, I want to say, was the first time I ever seen the Harlem Globetrotters play at the Staples Center Arena. It was, it was sold out crowd. I realized right then and there I was getting myself a part of something that was very special. It was all type of celebrities in the building, like Al Pacino, Bruce Jenner. You had Pamela Anderson sitting on the bench with her sons. You had Dr. Dre at the game. It was just like I was like, wow. But it was a good experience, something I definitely remember. My first game as a Globetrotter for the rest of my life.
Awesome. So was that in LA then?
That was in LA at the Staples Center, yes.
Awesome. Okay, so being a Harlem Globetrotter,
Yeah.
you've obviously spent a lot of time working on your skills and kind of taking it to the next level, where most people probably will never achieve because it takes so much work. But how do you approach your practice, or how did you approach your practice when you're trying to develop those skills?
So one thing I was able to always do was spin the basketball on my finger. I never knew that, 20 years down the line, I'll be, spinning the ball on my finger in front of thousands and millions of people seeing it. But once I first joined the team, I was surrounded by, a lot of veterans, guys that have been playing for, 17, 22 years. And so before each and every game, we have something called the Magic Circle. That's where we have 5 or 6 of our best ball handlers demonstrate some ball handling. So I'm outside on a circle watching these guys do their basketball tricks, and the crowd is going crazy. And I'm like, I want to do it. I want people to cheer for me like that one day. So every day, my first time I go try is to bring a basketball to my room and just get creative and work on a routine and try to wow myself. So hopefully, I'm thinking the crowd will be wild once I get my routine down. Of course, I broke a couple of lamps, but we write that off. We wrote that off. But so I just practiced my craft every day and just kept thinking of something to bring that will wow the crowd or wow the next individual. And I think I did a pretty good job of it.
Yeah, so things like consistency and intensity are really important when it comes to practice.
Definitely, you gotta work hard at it. And if it's too easy, that means you got to step it up another level. You don't want it to be too easy. You want to really wow somebody. So when they try, they really think it's magic, and that's what I take pride in. I try to really take it to the next level. So when the next person tries, like wow, they really respect what you're doing.
Right. Okay. So before we get into talking about our collaboration, I just want to tell people that are watching to send us your questions, and you can do that by either tweeting them to us. We are at Shot Science on Twitter, or you can leave them in the chat or in the Q&A app on Google Plus right now. So if you have a question for Slick, now would be the chance to ask him. Don't waste any time and send them to us, because we're going to go through as many questions as we can today. And if you want yours in, get it in now. Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about the collaboration we did last month.
Yeah.
You met us at a gym, and we shot some videos that included things like your top 5 ball handling warm-up drills, how to shoot the 4-point shot, the ultimate horse shot, things like that. Do you think that these are things people are going to have fun watching and attempting themselves?
I think they're gonna love it. I think it's things that people practice, often too. Shooting probably far away from the basket, and we help those guys and give those guys the proper tools. We also give them, things to see where they could work on if they want to win a horse game. We gave them some shots they could practice on that. So I think folks are going to be very excited on, the shot science videos that's going to be posted. And,
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and one of the cool things that we did was we did show people about the 4-point shot, and it is super far away from the basket, but we did talk about how to develop that range, and you have to build yourself up to it. It's not one of those things where you just start out throwing down the dunk and then stepping back and doing the 4-point shot. You have to work yourself back.
Exactly. You just can't come on a court, shoot from half court. At least you got to find your rhythm, get your step for it.
That's right.
Warmed up.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the other cool things too is that we actually shot the collaboration with a Red camera, and so we got a lot of really nice slow motion video. and people will kind of be able to see all the intricacies of what Slick is doing when he's doing all these crazy ball handling drills, and it might help you kind of demystify some of those things and be able to work on them a little bit more yourself. Not something that you probably had when you were kind of working your way up.
I haven't. I had to learn the hard way. So KC, the world should thank you for helping them. Help them, big KC.
That's right, and Coach Tom. We got it.
Tom.
All right, so I think we're going to jump right into asking the fans questions. And so are you ready is the real question.
I'm ready. Bring it on.
Okay, so the first question here is from Brandon Reynolds in the chat, and he says, how do you become a more confident knockdown shooter coming off screens and off the dribble?
One thing I would say to him is a lot of reps. Repetition as you're getting comfortable with it. Sometimes, if you get a lot of reps, you can put up a shot and know you automatically made it before it goes in with reps. Just keep constantly. If you want to work on getting good at coming off screens, come off screens 100 times each session, both ways. Right or wrong, Coach Tom, would you agree with me?
I agree with you totally. Yep.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too is about practicing kind of slowing things down, diligently working on dialing in your mechanics, and then stepping it up to like game speed, game intensity. Just so that when you step out on the court, you want to make sure that you've been in that situation before and it's not something new.
Exactly. Also, you want to make sure your feet is coming off the screen, right, so you can plant your feet properly and use your legs and your balance. So, you work on that repetition along with those, like you said, the basics of, shooting, you'll be more confident than you know it.
Right. Okay, here's another question. This one is from Jordan Beya, who is at Jordansky_V2 on Twitter. He says, what goes through the mind of any Globetrotter when they're trying a 4-point shot?
Well, I can tell you what's going through my mind, that I'm going to knock this down. I can't wait to hear the crowd reaction. I can do my celebration dance. That's what's going through my mind. I got a lot of reps up. But I love what's going through my mind is I'm going to hit this down for, for the crowd so I can hear their reaction.
Awesome. Okay, here's one from, let's see here. This one is from Julian Woodall, who is at Woodsy MSI on Twitter. He says, hey guys, when are you coming to Dubai?
All right.
That's a good question. I hope soon. Keep your eyes posted. You can go to harlemglobetrotter.com and definitely check out the schedule and tell you when we're in the city near you.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are traveling pretty much all year round, so it's got to be sometime in the near future.
Exactly, sometime in the near future. So check our website out, buddy, for the schedule.
All right, here's one from Reckless Redneck on in the chat, who says, how can I get better accuracy on higher goals from a farther distance and improve my jump shots?
On higher goals, like 10 feet, like 12 feet, 14 feet?
I think mostly just probably a regulation from further distances. How about that?
The regulation from further distance is basically, you got to start with your mechanics. Starting close, you got to get the feel for the shot. The key is you have to use legs. So, for instance, we shoot 35 feet from the basket with the 4-point shot. We can't do it with all arms. We have to bend our knees, use our legs. So I would say the answer to that question, buddy, is just use your whole body. You have to have leg strength the further you want to shoot from the basket.
Awesome. Okay, here's one from KD35 MVP Thunder 7. I wonder who his favorite player is. He says, how do you deal with ball hogs?
I was blessed in my life not to really deal with a ball hog. I probably was the ball hog. Now, and, just got to call for that's something you have to leave up to your coach. Hopefully your coach can see that and tell him to be a team player.
Right, okay. For sure, and I think one of those things is that the people that are ball hogs generally kind of are that they're found out fairly soon.
Yeah.
It's hard to be successful and be a ball hog unless you're somebody like Kobe Bryant. I didn't say that.
100%.
Okay, this one is from Nyson Strickland, who says, how do you practice your handles?
That's a great question. I started off by simply doing the basic drills when I was younger. I always, if I didn't have a basketball in my hand, I have a tennis ball. So for instance, if I'm sitting down like this without a basketball, because my mom probably wants the basketball bouncing in the house at 11 o'clock at night, I would have a tennis ball and I'll dribble it like it's a basketball. And that's how I got my handles tight from, from then to now. Then this course is 1,000 drills that you could do to better your handles.
Awesome.
Well, a question that we get an awful lot, Slick, is, how do I improve my weekend?
Yeah,
How
what do
do
you
you
think
do
about
the
that?
weekend is a great question. As much as that you love to dribble with your right hand, put the basketball in your left hand. If you're a righty, put it in your left hand, and just the same amount of reps or probably even more reps you should do with that weaker hand. If you're a righty, vice versa, okay? Because anything you do with your right, you're going to have to do with your left in the game. Anything you do with your left, you're going to have to do with your right. So you might have to spend more time on that weaker hand to, make it better so you can catch up.
Yeah, we also get a lot of questions from people that are saying or asking, what is the secret to getting my weak hand up to the level of my strong hand, and they think that it's some different approach, but it's really just getting the reps in. It's the same thing, just mirror image.
I wish everybody wish we could drink a potion and our weakness be our strength, but all reality, ladies and gentlemen, we just have to put that work in and work hard.
I know the truth hurts on that one for sure. Okay, here's one from James Jen Tomlinson on Facebook who says he saw you on Man vs. Food.
Thanks, buddy. You see me eat that, almost pass out at the end?
Was that the one where you ate like the 2-pound sandwich or something like that?
Yeah, the pork sandwich, 2-pound pork sandwich, spicy.
How
Man,
many days did it take to recover from that one?
Oh man, it took about a week.
Okay, yeah, and speaking of recovery, I know that when we were shooting the videos and stuff that you said that you were injured recently.
Yeah.
So a lot of times we get questions from people that have been injured and they're trying to come back and they're trying to stay motivated. So like, what are the things that you do or kind of the mindset that you take when you're trying to come back from injuries, especially something like didn't you break your ankle?
Yes, I broke my ankle in France, February 15th. My mindset is that when I'm going to come back, one, I want to be better than when I was before. So therefore, I have to push myself and just have to work hard at it. Stay in the gym. Whether if, for instance, I couldn't run, but it was things I was doing like I was lifting. Maybe I took care better of my body, my upper body, and my abs, or things of that nature. So you just really have to stay positive and keep working hard. Work hard, positive, and work hard.
That's right.
It's interesting. Some people think that once they have injured themselves, that now there's nothing they can do until they get repaired. One of the things that we like to tell them, Slick, and I think you probably would agree, is that there are a lot of other things you can be working on if you've got a bad ankle or a bad wrist or whatever.
Exactly. So, for instance, like me, I couldn't work on my legs because I had to, stay off my ankle. I couldn't put, squats and things of that nature. So I worked on my upper body. I worked on my abs. There's other, like you said, Coach Tom said, there's other things that you could do. Just because you're down in one area, you don't have to let the rest of your body or the rest of the area, lack. Or you could strengthen your mind. Things you could do.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta really find a way to make it happen, and,
Yeah.
and if that takes some creativity, that's really what you got to do.
Exactly.
Okay, so this one is from Annie Parati, who's at the Parati Kid on Twitter, and she says, "Hey Slick, which Globetrotter has the most hashtag swag?"
How do you get more swag than Slick? A name called Slick, right?
I know. I don't know what she's thinking. So you swag.
I didn't hear you, Casey.
I said you're self-proclaimed swaggiest Globetrotter.
Yeah, Swaggy Slick. That's what they call me.
Awesome. All right, so here's one from Jonathan Edwards. He says, and he's from Google+, he says, how do you analyze in-game situations in that moment, and how do you manage to not over-dribble or hold the ball too long, which might be a tough second question for a Globetrotter, I think.
Great questions. How do you manage in-game decisions? That comes with experience of playing the game of basketball. Me personally, I like to know my moves that I'm gonna do ahead of time. So I probably have a counter move. So if this person doesn't fall for this fake, or if they fall for this fake, I'm gonna do this. So you pretty much got to have control. I try to have control of my defender and kind of make him do what I want to do, and so I could get to where I want to get. And to have the ball not too long is if you're breaking your man down and the crowd is going ooh and ah, if you get by him and throw a lob, I think you have to pretty much feed off the crowd and the crowd's energy. That's how I do it myself. So if I could get two oohs and ahs and drive by my defender and throw the lob for one of my teammates, and for ooh and louder ah, I think my timing and execution was great. I don't know if that helped answer that question.
No,
but
I think you
probably
nailed it.
have to just feed off the atmosphere, and the atmosphere will tell you if you're holding the ball too long.
Yeah, and one of the things too is that if you're playing and somebody is in a better opportunity to score, or there's an opportunity that can be created to get a better opportunity to score, that's what you got to look for. A lot of people they maybe try to do too much themselves, but you also need to take into account that your teammates are out there and they might be moving without the ball and creating opportunities too. So you have to kind of weigh that as well.
Exactly. So if you break your defender down and you see your other guy cutting, you can throw the alley-oop, and that's teamwork right there. So you got two oohs and an ah.
That's right. And that's what the results we're looking for, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, and the other thing that helps too is experience. You got to get out there and play.
Exactly.
Okay, so I want to remind people that if you have questions for Slick, send them to us. We are at Shot Science on Twitter, or you can send them to us on the chat here on YouTube or in Google+. We'll try to check out Facebook too, but send us your questions, and we'll try to get to as many as possible. Okay, I have a question, and I've asked this a couple times to some of our guests, but I asked you earlier about who your favorite player was, but what is your Mount Rushmore? I know they talked about that earlier this year. So who are like your four top guys?
My four top guys: MJ, Isaiah Thomas. I'm a guard guy, so I like guards. I like I'm gonna have to put Kobe in there.
Like a Magic or something like that?
And I'll have to go. Back in that day, I'm gonna go from vintage NBA to now. So I'm gonna go Kobe. MJ, Isaiah Thomas, Kobe. If we're gonna pick four, I'm gonna have to give it to LeBron James. He's something special. So
All right.
That's my four.
Slick, where's your big? Where's your big?
I'm a guard guy. I'm a guard guy. If I'm gonna have to go with a big man, I'm gonna have to go with the Diesel.
All right.
Big Shaq.
Yeah, I have to go Big Shaq.
All right, so how about your Globetrotter Rushmore? Can you do that one for us?
My Globetrotter Rushmore. My top four of all time.
Slick is probably number one, right?
Nah, I'm gonna leave me out of it. I got some ways to go. I'm gonna go with Showtime Gaffney, Special K, Sweet Pea, and High Rise.
Awesome. So if people don't know who those guys are, they need to go check them out for sure.
Definitely go check them out.
All right, so we're gonna get back to the regular scheduled questions here. Let's see. This one is from Julie Kickla at JKick. She's from the Whistle. She says, "Hey, at Shot Science, who is the most famous person you have ever crossed up?" And she says, "Nice abs, Slick," as well. So who's the most famous person you've ever crossed up?
The most famous person I would probably say that I ever crossed up, I would have to say, that's a good question. In the celebrity game, I would have to say Master P. He was in Vegas playing in the celebrity game, and I crossed Master P up. Yeah.
Master P.
Master P.
Nice. That's a good one.
CEO No Limit Records. I don't know if they don't know who Master P was, so that's who he was.
Oh yeah. Awesome. That's a good one. Okay, let's hit another question here. This is from Osirame Sado, who I probably just butchered their name, from YouTube, who says, "How do you keep the ball spinning on your finger for as long as you want?" That's another one of your fortes too, is spinning the ball. So.
Okay, I'm gonna tell the world this. I shouldn't tell y'all my secret, but there's a battery in there. Don't tell nobody else, okay? No, so what I do is I try to spin the ball. I get a good spin. I spin the ball as hard as I can. And the trick is to put the ball on your nail. So it's good to have just a little bit of nail. You put the ball on your nail and the ball will spin. You got to just spin it real hard though. See, some people spin it out this way. I like to spin it in where I can get a real good spin. So the trick is to spin the ball as hard as you can, have a little bit of nail, place the ball on your nail.
Awesome. And we actually have a video that we shot with Slick too on how to do all that stuff and work up to some kind of crazy two-ball spinning stuff that is just ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, yeah.
In slow-mo, so it should be awesome. Everything's better in slow-mo.
I can't wait to see it.
Okay, here's one from let's see here. This one is from I'm Groudon on YouTube, who says, "What is the best method to use for creating the most space between you and the defender?"
Good question.
Depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to get by your back, if you're trying to get to the basket, I would use the crossover. I think the crossover that worked well for me. If you're trying to get a shot off, I would say the step back.
Awesome.
So if you want to get to the basket, crossover. And if you want to get a shot up, step back.
Yeah, I mean, we would agree with that for sure. One of the other things too to always keep in mind is that you can actually create a lot of space moving without the ball too. So doing things like V cuts, L cuts, backdoor cuts, kind of creating leads, and then changing directions and speed will really kind of give you an opportunity to create space without having the ball. And then you catch the ball, and then you're kind of in the driver's seat. Mm-hmm. So all of those things work together.
Here's a question for Slick. One of the things that we see amongst young players that we deal with is they don't have enough movement without the basketball. They're very comfortable to be kind of stationary and allow themselves to be defended very easily. You got any thoughts on that, Slick?
Like Casey said, what I thought was real great. Defenders, you're helping the defender job easy, making their job easy if you're just standing there without the basketball. Nobody wants to run around and guard someone who's constantly moving. I think that's what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen and Rip Hamilton are great at. They're constantly moving. You want to constantly move. You want to set screens because the screener, 9 times out of 10, is open as well. You screen and pop. But like Casey basically said, just keep moving without the basketball. B cut, set screens, screen away. Constantly keep moving. Do not stop moving because I don't want to run around all day after somebody on the basketball court. So if you keep moving, keep moving.
Yeah, I mean, the easiest person to defend is the guy that's just standing there. So exactly. Make his job.
One of the things that we talk about with them as well is that probably in a high school basketball game, as a regular player, not a point guard necessarily, but just kind of a regular player, you're only going to have the ball in your possession probably less than 2 minutes for the entire game. What are you doing the rest of the time? So that's pretty important to move, right?
Exactly, and coaches is looking at that. Not only if you have the basketball for those X amount of minutes or seconds that you have it, but if you could create another shot for somebody else by screening a roll, by setting the back screen, by screening the pop now because they went with the point guard and you're wide open, you created a shot for yourself. So like you said, moving is very important. There's other ways you can score or help your team out without having a basketball.
Right. Yeah, screening is super important as well. And there's things like give and go and doing splits, high post splits, things like that are just great ways to get yourself open or a teammate open.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to another question here. This one is from Rebound King on YouTube, who says, "How do you develop confidence in your shot and dribble? I'm a good shooter and I can handle the ball when it comes to under high pressure. I can't shoot mid-range or threes, as well as low pressure. I can shoot clutch free throws perfectly fine. So what's wrong? I'm also a decent ball handler, but how do I develop confidence?" So he needs confidence in his shot and his dribble.
So confidence in your shot and dribble, anything. Confidence is just repetition. To me, in my form, if I know I'll go out there and I make 500 shots every single day or every day, I'm confident in myself that I'm going to make this shot. Or whoever's guarding me, I'm gonna get this shot off and I'm gonna make it. Don't think about, oh, it's a 3-pointer. I'm not that confident, but I'm confident in making a 2-pointer. If you think about it and you're already thinking about the negative, you're setting yourself up for failure. So anytime you think about shooting, you want to think that you're going to make it. No one shoots to miss. So every time you shoot the basketball, you want to shoot and you should say, I'm going to make this shot. That's one. For your dribbling, again, it just comes with a lot of reps. You have to, if you want to have a good crossover, you want to have a good behind the back or good in between the legs, therefore you should do X amount of dribbles a day so you can master, you can feel comfortable with your crossover, or you can feel comfortable going behind your back. If your left hand is weak, you should work on dribbling with your left hand X amount of days. So therefore, when someone's guarding you, you feel confident with that. So again, I just think confidence comes with a lot of repetition, and don't set yourself up by saying that you can't, because you're already setting yourself up by not.
Right. I mean, I think that the key here is, and you said it, was you can't have confidence in your execution if you don't have confidence in your skills.
Yeah.
So you really need to develop your skills in your practice time, and that's doing the diligent work and also the game speed, game intensity work. And if you get experience doing that stuff, there's no way that you're not going to have confidence, because
Exactly.
your skills, confidence.
Exactly.
All right. This one is from Dashel, who is at Dashel D on Twitter. This is another guy from the Whistle.
Okay.
Dash says, if you could draft one celebrity to join the Globetrotters, who would it be? Hashtag Swaggy Slick.
If I could draft one celebrity to be a Harlem Globetrotter, who would it be? That is a great question, and I would have to go for, because I like to be entertained at the game as we play as well. I would have to go for Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart?
Yeah. I would love to see Kevin Hart in a full game with the Harlem Globetrotters.
I bet he would do it too.
Yeah, I would love to see that. I think he has entertainment, skills, to make people laugh. Also, I've seen a couple of clips of him playing basketball, so I see his competitive edge. I would just like to see the combination of the two at the same time.
Well, I saw a video the other day where he smacked Shaq in the head with a giant shoe and then ran away. And he's got, I think Shaq's got about 2 feet on him, so he does have some bravery in there for sure. Okay, this one is from YouTube, and it's from Turn on the Jets. He says, what is your favorite arena that you've played in?
My favorite arena that I will have to say that I played in, I played in a lot of great arenas, so of course I'm going to say the Mecca of basketball, MSG, because it holds so much history. But then I went, the LA Staples Center, my first Harlem Globetrotter game ever, which holds, so much history there as well, the Lakers. So I'm going to leave the United States out of it, and I want to say I'm going to take it to Europe. When I was in Spain, I played in something like a bull ring, and that was, a little unique, and I would say that's going to have to stick out in my mind definitely for the rest of my life, because they actually had a bull like in the back downstairs, and actually had like blood on the wall a little bit. So I'm gonna have to, put that up there as top, because that was a little different.
Yeah, that's intense. Nice.
How do the arenas? How are they in China and places like that?
Oh, in China, they actually was good arenas. They're a little hot now, a little on the hot side, but it was good arenas, and we've always played in the good arenas over there. We never really played anything that's not up to basketball standards, but it was pretty good over there. Just they need to turn the AC on a little more.
Yeah, a little humid and hot, huh?
Yeah.
All right, here's one from Google+. This one is from Jordansky V2, who says, how do the Globetrotters come up with their skits?
Well, we don't really have a skit, I would say. It's just, a lot of things are spontaneous. That's one thing that's special about the Harlem Globetrotters. When you come to a game, you're going to get a chance to see some great Harlem Globetrotter entertainment and some great basketball. We do spontaneous things that, you may not, and that makes it special, because you sitting on the front row, you never thought in a million years, or you sitting in the 10th row, that this was going to happen to you on that night. So some things are not scripted, and I think some things is better to left unscripted. I think that's the best thing about coming to a Harlem Globetrotter thing, the spontaneous that could happen.
Right. So people should just go check out the Globetrotters is really the key here.
Yeah, long story short, just come check us out.
Okay, this one is from Doneven Hill Bush, who says, "I just wonder how you think of the Globetrotters from the past and now."
I think the Globetrotters definitely, they set the tone for set the expectations high. Because anybody that's seen the Globetrotters, in the 80s and 70s, from since we've been existing in the 1926, since 1926, people have nothing but fond memories, which I think to me sets the bar high for us to keep carrying on such a rich tradition that's been around for 88 long years. So we just really, I think the difference between us and those guys is probably run a little faster and jump a little higher. But we still carry some of the great tradition that those guys set for us.
Is that kind of fun for you to go back and look at some of those films of those early days?
Oh, definitely. To see guys like, Curly Nil, sliding on the golf ball court, kicking in the basketball from half court and then going in, seeing guys like Sweet Luke Dunbar shoot the hook shot and, entertaining people the same way that we do, it definitely is a blessing and definitely let me know and make me want to take my craft to another level, to have that positive impact that they had, to have the same impact on our future as well.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is that whenever we talk to, or whenever I talk to people that are from like other countries, outside of the United States, most of them, like the pro players that they know, are Harlem Globetrotter guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught our cameraman the other day, or when we filmed with you. He was British, and he said that he thought the most famous basketball player ever was Meadowlark Lemon,
Yeah.
and he, before he came to the United States, he didn't really know anything about Michael Jordan or anything like that. It was all Meadowlark.
Yeah. And that's the beauty about it, the Harlem Globetrotters. We broke many barriers of basketball. It's been countries been fighting wars to let us go in there and play, for X amount of days, and when we leave, they start back fighting again. So we broke a lot of barriers, and we put a lot of positive and create a lot of positive memories for people that last a lifetime. And I'm definitely happy to be part of something so special that carries such rich tradition.
Right. That's awesome. And I have one question for you, because I know it'll come up for people, but there's a difference between competitive basketball and kind of like the more entertainment in basketball, because I mean you guys are putting on a real show. It's not just about putting the ball in the basket, which is part of it, but I mean you guys are doing incredible things that most people can't do. So is there something that you can speak about to kind of like the difference between the two, and the fact that you have to have the fundamentals that you build in regular competitive basketball to be able to step up and do kind of the things that you do?
The difference between competitive basketball and Harlem Globetrotter entertainment, which is we add competitive, is competitive basketball, you're paying, 40 minutes, you pick up 94 feet, you're grinning, you're slapping the floor, you're yelling, and you're more intense. You know what I'm saying? You could be mad if you want to for 40 minutes. Here, you have to be able to play defense, and smile at the same time. Or, go give a little kid a high five. Or if a bad call is not called, you can't, just go off on rampage. But you have to be, the difference is you have to have an on and off switch. And it took me about 3 years once I realized, wow, now I have to do the YMCA, or, I got to go here, mess with a little kid and give him a high five. I just told him I was going to hit a four for him. I think to me, I'm having a great time entertaining and playing at the same time. So how to really explain the differences is just you have to have an on and off switch when you're doing both of them. You have to know the difference between, okay, I'm playing 40 minutes of hard-nosed basketball, or I'm playing X amount of minutes and then entertaining my fans as well. So it's basically, I would just say it's an on and off switch that you realize you have, or you will have to make in due time.
Right. And all you guys have a background in that competitive basketball at high levels too, right?
Yes, yes. So we all attended some form of college, or played some form of professional basketball.
Yeah, I mean, like you said before, I mean, you played at St. John's, D1, hold records for shooting. I mean, you guys were playing at the top level, so it's not like you can just wake up one day and be a Globetrotter. You
Yeah,
have to put in the work.
exactly. Like I said, it took me personally about 3 years to really make the transition of, competitive to entertaining. Once I realized there's a switch that I have to turn on and off, you know, I've been living the dream ever since. So basically, my message out there, long story short, is it's just a switch that you got to learn to turn on and off from competitive to entertainment. And once you find that switch, you'll be able to balance it too.
You still follow St. John's?
Um, not as much as I should because we travel a lot and they switch the Big East so much and the Big East not the Big East. But when they're doing well, I get a chance if we're in a hotel somewhere and I get a chance to watch them play. I catch them every now and again playing. Hopefully, they turn in the program around. I know the coaches are doing a great job up there, and I wish those guys the best.
Awesome. Do you ever find yourself out playing kind of more competitive basketball occasionally too, or mostly just Globetrotter stuff?
When I'm I go work out at LA Fitness. So when I'm at LA Fitness, I finish getting a workout in, and those guys is in there running. I definitely, it's something that's in me. I've been playing basketball since I was 6 years old, and I can't get it out of my blood. I try to, but it don't want to leave my blood. But so those two guys in there running. I just go in there and get some running, get some wins. Then I can go home and relax, get on some 2K.
Yeah. So that switch does flip for you when put in the right situation.
Definitely, definitely.
All right, let's jump back into some more questions here. This is another one from Dash on YouTube. He says, "What's the toughest ball handling drill that you do?"
The toughest ball handling drill I would say for me is spinning two basketballs at the same time. And my guys right here, Shot Science, they have that video that they would get out to you guys, and I want the world to let me know. Or when you try, let me know the difficulty level on that.
Yeah, well, the crazy thing too is that I've looked at a bunch of the footage and stuff, and how you actually keep it on your finger when you're putting it under your arms and between your legs, like it doesn't even make sense. Like the physics does not work.
Yeah,
Like
so
you
I
can,
would say that's my difficult, and that took me some time to learn. And then again, it's different when you're in a room by yourself to when you go out there now with 10,000 people, 12,000, 15,000 people looking at you. So again, guys, ladies and gentlemen, that comes back with practicing and building that confidence yourself before you go out there and you have 10,000 eyes on you.
yeah, I mean that's a pretty big step up from your bedroom to a huge arena of people. So, so is that stuff that you still work on all the time too? Is like developing things that I mean, probably polishing the things that you already do, and then kind of thinking of new stuff too?
Yes, definitely. I want to always keep my stuff polished, and I always want to keep innovating things and keep creating and coming up with new ideas, to just to wow people. I love, the fact that I get a chance to, have a craft and show my ball handling where I can have people interested and want to learn how to, do certain things. So definitely, my fans and people that support the Harlem Globetrotters, they motivate me to keep, innovating and coming up with new things.
Right. I mean, that's one of those things is that I'm sure your guys' minds are always working on the next thing and just trying to jailbreak all this stuff that everybody else doesn't even doesn't even think about until you guys show up on YouTube and you're like the next new viral video, right?
There you go. There you go.
Awesome. Okay.
I wish I had the jailbreak code though. What's the jailbreak code?
I don't have that, man. I think that you're closer to it than I am. Let's see here. Maybe the jailbreak code is going to be maybe it's going to be a little bit more apparent when you get a look at the slow motion footage.
There you go.
Maybe it'll be some stuff that like you'll see it and you'll be like, wow, I didn't even know that was going on, and it'll take you in a completely different direction too.
Right.
Okay, this one is from Kevin Smith, another whistle guy. He says, "Who is the toughest player that you've ever had to defend?"
The toughest player I would ever have to defend, I would have to say, was Jason Williams. I used to play at Duke. Um,
White chocolate?
no, Jason Williams from Duke University.
Oh, the Duke
yeah.
one, yeah, sure.
Yeah, Duke University. We played Duke when I want to say, my freshman year, and The guy was very explosive, fast, and especially the offense that they ran, it was definitely hard to keep up with him. So I would have to give it to Jason Williams on that one.
Yeah, I mean he was a intense monster of a player for sure,
Yeah.
and it's very unfortunate that he had that accident and wasn't able to continue on. Okay, let's see here. This one is from Jackson Tomic, who asks, "What's your favorite trick or skill that you do on the court?"
My favorite trick that I like to do, I have a trick shot where I spin the basketball, whether I spin it around my body first on one arm and then I throw it off the glass while it's spinning. That's my favorite trick.
Yeah, that's one of those horse winners, right?
Exactly. The go-to. That's my go-to right there.
Yeah, we're gonna expose Slick's secret move in winning horse. So he's gonna have to come.
They have all the lost and hidden fouls.
Yeah,
You guys.
you're gonna have to come up with a plan B after that for sure. Okay, let's see. This one is from Fat Nguyen, who says, "Can calisthenics exercises alone help gain 40 plus inches? How do you combine these exercises to get the greatest gains?"
I love
I don't.
calisthenics. Those are some of my favorite workout pull-ups, push-ups, dip, calves raises. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's going to give you 40 inches though, but definitely, do a lot of calf raises, squats, lunges, leg press. Those things will definitely help you out. They definitely help and increase your vertical, things of that nature.
Yeah, I think one of the really great things that you can do is kind of more functional exercises. A lot of guys think that they need to get in the weight room, and especially young people think they need to get in the weight room and start squatting 400 pounds or benching 300 pounds. And it's like, you don't need to do that stuff. The things that really help are things that translate directly to basketball specific training. So working on your athleticism in general, doing things like sprints, ladder drills, jump rope, dot drills, footwork drills. All of those things really help in kind of prepping you more for basketball than just strictly weight training stuff.
Well, and stretching is really important as well.
Well, yeah, flexibility.
Flexibility is super important in jumping. Yeah.
Flexibility, your ab core, getting your ab core tight, keeping your abs tight. Also, like Casey said, you don't have to get in there and squat 300, 350, 500. That's bad on your knees. You could do body weight. You could do box jumping. Things of that nature. So, those are all great exercises. So you're not beating your body down so hard in the weight room or using all those weights.
Right. Okay, this one is from Jeremiah Ortiz, and he's asking, what are the best dribbling drills to do with a tennis ball? I don't know if you do that at all, but he wonders if you do.
I used to when I was younger. Like I said, I always kept a tennis ball if I didn't have a basketball. But the same dribbling drills that you do with a basketball, going between cones, between your legs, behind your back. You also eye-hand coordination where you can dribble the basketball, cross the basketball over, have somebody throwing a tennis ball to you. So you're working on your hand quickness, hand quickness, and eye-hand coordination skills at the same time. So I'm pretty sure you could YouTube 1,000 videos for those as well. But basically the same drills that you do with a regular basketball, you do with a tennis ball.
Right, for sure. A lot of that stuff is just developing your hand-eye coordination, and you actually don't even need the tennis ball or any of those extra things. You can actually just get by with a basketball and really kind of an intensity and drive to push yourself to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see here. Man, some of these questions are hard to get through all of these. Did you ever watch any of like the And One guys or anything like that? People are asking that too.
Yeah, definitely. I have some friends who actually played for and one, for years. From when they first started to now, and those guys are very talented as well. You have some guys that jump out the gym to do some great ball handling, and as well. And I take my hat off to those guys for those abilities that they have.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite like kind of street ball players that of all time or anything like that that you look to at all?
Definitely, especially growing up in New York City,
Yeah.
street ball is very big, and that's how I started playing basketball in the park and, things of that nature. And, definitely rest in peace. We have a great street ball legend, Rod Strickland, uh, not Rod Strickland, John Strickland, I'm sorry, Ali
Yeah.
Mo, um, Shane the dribbling machine, the future, Skip to My Lou, all those guys. Those are guys I watched growing up and guys that I got a chance to play with as well.
Did that ever appeal to you as a life pursuit or no?
Well, I think being around that introduced me to the game of basketball. Like I said, I've been playing basketball since I was six. So for me to go 6 years old, so for me to go play, and in a rucker, it was just natural, and it was just natural to me. So I just wanted to be around the game of basketball. Anywhere to go play basketball. When I was younger, we have 5, 6 games in different tournaments throughout New York City, and I just wanted to play the game of basketball, who with, wherever.
So you could very easily have been an and one player, probably, huh?
Oh, probably.
He's a Globetrotter.
But I'm the
Uh,
world famous Harlem Globetrotter. That's by far my best experience ever.
yeah, that's awesome, man. So you have played in like the tournaments like the Rucker and
Yeah.
have you played in anything else too?
Excuse me?
Have you played in any of those other kind of big
I
tournaments?
played, yeah, I played in, every, basically almost all the New York City tournaments growing up, and that was the thing to do, from growing up from when we was younger, going from, especially in the summertime, we might have a game at 12, game at 3, game at 6. That was the thing to do from tournament to tournament back then.
Awesome. Okay, I have a question for you. What is the best advice any coach ever gave to you?
The best advice any coach ever gave to me was my high school coach, Johnny Mathis, and he told me hustle never has a bad day. And what I take from that is if you play hard, 40 minutes, 48 minutes, however long the game is, your shot may be off, but there's other things that you can do as well. Like you said, if you're playing hard and I'm not moping about my shot and I'm now worrying about my defense, or I'm setting screens for my players, or I'm hustling to get rebounds, or I'm creating shots for other players, or I'm hustling for loose balls. So that's what I took from them. That's why I always play with 110% effort when I'm on the court, whether if I'm missing shots or not. There's other things that I could do to make my team win or be successful.
Awesome. And did you say which coach that was?
My high school coach, Johnny Mathis. Hustle never has a bad day.
Awesome. I like that one. Okay, here's the last question from Twitter. This one is from Zach, who is at Mwetzel Zach on Twitter. He says, "What was Slick's inspiration to start playing basketball?" So, what inspired you to first pick up a basketball? I guess.
I had a park right across the street from my house. Nothing special. I just was fell in love with it the first time I picked it up. 6 years old, and I just kept playing ever since. I never went to like a game to say, "Wow, I want to play this game." Nobody in my family was really big in sports like that, so it was just something I picked up on my own, and you know, just fell in love with it. In the parks,
Yeah, I
playing
mean,
with my friends, playing by myself, and realized I kept doing this and realizing people start knowing who I was because of this round object. I'm getting a chance to play on this team and travel at a young age, and I realized, wow, this is a beautiful thing. Let me keep bouncing this thing. Let me keep shooting. No, but I love the game, and I've been playing ever since I was 6, and I just kind of introduced myself to the game of basketball. Just fortunate to have a court and a basketball right across the street, and I've been playing ever since.
yeah, and it's probably a huge part of like the New York culture and stuff like that too. I'm sure.
Yeah, like in how you might go to Europe and they walking down the street with soccer basketballs. You go down you walking down the street in New York City, they dribbling basketballs. There's a basketball, park on, almost every corner. So like you said, it's just the culture.
Right. Okay. Here is your last question for today. It's actually more just getting your comments on it. But what is kind of the advice or comments that you would give to a young basketball player that's trying to take their game to the next level?
My advice that I would give to a young player who's trying to take their basketball game or their talents to the next level is every day that you wake up, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm going to be better today. Every day, if you don't feel like it, you have to put that work in. You know, when it hurts, when your body's hurting, when you don't want to, when it's raining outside or you can't get nobody to get rebounds for you, whether it's cold or not. You have to put that work in when nobody else is looking because you have another young player who's willing to be outside in the rain or in the snow when nobody wants to go get their rebounds. They're going to get it themselves. And never tell no one that you can't do anything. Believe in yourself, or far foremost. Your mom can believe in you, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, but it has to start with you. Because your mom, your dad, they can't shoot the free throw for you when the game's on the line. It has to start with you. And just believe in yourself, and you can do anything with hard work and dedication. You can become anything with hard work and dedication. That's my advice.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's those people that have the excuses that never really go anywhere.
Exactly. Exactly.
Awesome. So, thanks so much for answering all those questions. I'm sure everybody appreciates it. And if we didn't get to people's questions, it wasn't because we didn't like you. It's because we just ran out of time. But I want to also say that we are super looking forward to the collaboration videos that we shot with you. And I think you'll really like all the slow motion stuff. Let us know if you do jailbreak anything because of the videos.
Well, I'll let y'all know when I jailbreak something else.
Yeah. So those are going to be coming up here in the next 2 days. So if you guys want to see those videos, make sure that you're subscribed to both Shot Science on YouTube and also to the Globetrotters on YouTube as well. I'm going to put all of the links down in the description of this video. And you can also follow the Globetrotters on all their social sites. So, Twitter, Instagram, Google+, all those places. Putting those down in the description. I'm also going to put Slick's down there too, so make sure you're following Slick. I know he has Instagram. I know he has what else do you have? You have Instagram and
Facebook.
And Facebook.
Yeah.
That's right. So I'll make sure to put those down in the description. So make sure you guys follow them and stay tuned for our videos. You got anything else to say before we go here?
Come check out the World Famous Harlem Globetrotters in a city near you. Check the website out, harlemglobetrotters.com. For when we in a city near you, can't wait to see you guys. Shot Science, thanks for having me. World, thanks for watching the video or chatting with us, and let us know what you think about the videos.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. We really appreciate having you on.
Yeah, thanks, Slick. Sweet.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Thanks so much, everybody, for showing up for the show. If you're watching the recording, we thank you very much. Make sure you guys go out and tell everybody to watch our collaboration with the Globetrotters and subscribe to all the channels. Say what's up to Slick on his stuff, and we will see you next time, I think 1 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.